Here's a shocking disclosure. That Steven Spielberg fella's pretty good at making movies. Wow. So this review's going up on opening day Friday rather than on the day the embargo dropped, I think earlier in the week. Funny story. Do you like how many funny stories there are in the episodes lately, folks? These aren't that funny to me, but I'm sure they're amusing to some of you. I was unable to attend a press screening of this one. The press screening was being held quite a ways away from my location. Usually not a problem, but on that same day, found out I'm either going to have to repair or replace my automobile. Just one of those expenses that you run into as a independent film content creator. He really should have come up with like a less douchebaggy sounding term for this whole thing. Anyway, as ever, these reviews and episodes and things like that only are able to exist through the grace of our many fans, viewers, and patrons. So if you like what we do here and would like to contribute to helping us do it better, or in this case just help good old Uncle Bob not have to take the bus to do it, the links to do that are right about here. Anyway, so Disclosure Day, I'm pretty sure by now we're at least allowed to say this is about aliens, but just in case, you know, there was a spoiler warning right up front. I will not spoil as much as I cannot spoil about this. If all you want to know is the movie good? Yes, the movie is really, really good. Go to see it. In any case, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's new movie. Our premise here, being as general as possible, a handful of people, for reasons that are not wholly known, but also not wholly unknown to themselves, primarily a former government security expert played by Josh O'Connor, and Emily Blunt as a TV weatherwoman, possessed of the means and ability to reveal the actual covered-up evidence of alien encounters on Earth to the world, are now being compelled by similarly unknowable to themselves forces to seek each other out and disclose this evidence in a manner that will definitively end that cover-up and let everyone know, yeah, there's aliens, we're not alone, etc., etc., etc. Coleman Domingo is a mysterious guy on the other end of everybody's phones, helping the plan come together for reasons we'll learn in Act 3. Colin Firth is the evil government guy who wants to stop this from happening. Eve Hewson is a former nun because somebody has to ask the what does this mean for God questions. And Wyatt Russell is Blunt's boyfriend who just wants someone to tell him what the hell is going on. I'm probably making it sound overly simple in avoiding the spoilers, but yeah, this actually is a pretty simple movie, mostly because it's structured as a set of mysteries in terms of what is the plan they're building to, what is it supposed to accomplish, etc., and that's sort of revealed backwards, so we find it out as most of the characters do. And the actual answers to all of this are less surprising or shocking and more on the lines of, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. I just didn't know how it was going to fit together totally in that way, but yeah, alright, that makes sense. Not only because there have been so many actually more cynical, supposedly complex movies about fighting through conspiracies in a similar vein to this one, and you know, even in the actual results of reality that audiences are probably trained to expect big swerves or subversions in terms of who to trust, who the real bad guys are, what people's reactions are going to be, etc. Like, I absolutely expect there will be a not insubstantial number of people whose takeaways from this movie is that it's another case of Spielberg being overly sentimental or even out of touch in terms of, oh, come on, do you really think in 2026 the answer to anything like this would just be to broadcast the truth? Don't you know half the world is just going to say fake news or ignore it or think it's AI or just politicize it or just not even care? Like, do you remember a few years ago there was this really insufferable, smug, and pretty bad but big star movie called Don't Look Up that was basically a one-joke dark comedy about this whole concept that if you went on the news in current year with proof that the world was ending, it wouldn't matter because everyone is just a big dum-dum because media has polarized us with brain rot, ha ha ha. And the thing with Disclosure Day is, it's basically, along with telling a coherent story about this in its own right, also functionally an answer to that very criticism of itself in terms of would anyone listen to this if it happened? And the answer it comes up with, somewhat audaciously, is they'd believe it from Steven Spielberg, presented the way Steven Spielberg would present it, yeah.
My friend here thinks it's fine the way it is.
And it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm really not. It's a movie about the importance of presentation every bit as much as it's a movie about the importance of truth. One of the first things anyone asks about what we're doing here in terms of this whole leak the files thing, even before we're really 100% clear on what the files are, is whether or not they should just dump them on the internet, and it's made very clear that in the opinion of this movie, that would not be the medium to do this. That the only way that this whole bring the world together through the shared revelation of great truth plan can work is through the collective experience of traditional mass audience media. There's a character who's gifted a psychic power that we're told and shown makes them unstoppable, pretty much, yeah, and we see them use it for most of the movie before we actually see what it does that makes it so effective, and when we finally do, again, avoiding spoilers, they basically have the power to be Steven Spielberg. Like if the Scarlet Witch could zap people with John Williams' French horn stings instead of that red magic twisty stuff. There's a running background bit of Domingo's character building what is essentially an elaborate, figurative, but also very literal plot device. You know, while he's directing the characters to go where they're supposed to go, we see them assembling all of this business in the background, and when we finally see what it is and understand its purpose, yeah, it makes complete sense within the story, but it makes even more sense as this astoundingly big swing and dig literalization of the film's underlying subtext that soundstage showmanship Spielberg style is an omega level force for getting a message across. And it's the kind of thing where you almost want to go, oh come on, really? But the thing is, he's right. Because as soon as they showed the thing, I understood what it was and what it was supposed to do in relation to the characters before they explained it, and the thematic weight of it was already working. So if there's an audacity to a filmmaker approaching his 80s making a film arguing, at least in part, oh, you think my movies are a little on the nose sometimes? Well, sometimes on the nose is the right way to do it, actually. Damned if he doesn't argue it very well, because it's a very good movie, and it works. You know, make no mistake, outside of that stuff, most of this is also just a rock-solid run from the bad guys, get to the place, conspiracy chase movie. Burner phones, motel raids, car chases, shootouts, train stunts. I mean, you gotta love that Spielberg is still the quintessential boomer kid even at 79. So if the movie needs something exciting to happen, the answer is usually going to be drive a car through a thing or train stuff, and it works. I mean, the thing is, it's just a really good movie, and the crazy thing is, it's probably not even like top 10 Spielberg, but it definitely is better than almost everything that's gonna come out this year. Like, you watch this and end up asking, why is every alien conspiracy movie, every newsroom movie, every spy thriller, movie show, whatever, not as good as this, when this is just parts of those? Yeah, I won't say much more about it because, again, spoilers, but yeah, 9 out of 10. Disclosure Day, check this one out.